Go immediately and bring in Congressman Jim Jordan. Jim, we just caught the tail end of that those questions. I mean, that made no sense to me at all. I think he confused Robert Bork. I think he confused the idea of what rights are threatened or otherwise. Oh, have at it, please, Jim, because that was a mess.
Well, no, I agree, Stuart. To say that Robert Bork says that your inherent rights come from government, it's just the opposite.
It's not true.
Our rights are gifts. Yeah, it's just not true. And frankly, our rights, the founders understood this, the Constitution, our rights come from the Creator. We are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I mean, that is the whole point. No, everything he said there, I had the same, I was flabbergasted. I said, well, it makes no sense. But unfortunately, most of the time now when the President of the United States speaks, when Joe Biden speaks, it doesn't make sense. And it's frightening, it's scary, and it's a concern for all of us.
2.5 more years of this, I'm not sure we can... Anyway, do you think that this issue, the Supreme Court and abortion, does this give the Democrats something of a winning issue for November?
Well, I mean, I step back and look at it this way. If the decision holds, that is a victory for the sanctity of human life, for the precious nature of human life. I think that is a victory for the Constitution. So I think that's first and foremost. Second, we got to get to the bottom of this leak. You can't have an institution like the Supreme Court where this sort of thing happens. And then third, I think, is the political question, and we'll have to see. But I do know if this decision holds, there's going to be lots of pro-life voters. And I think the Democrats are truly, and Sean was talking about this earlier, the Democrats are the ones who truly have the radical position when it comes to protecting unborn children, because they want to be able to take the life of an unborn child all the way up until the day that child is born. And that is just wrong. We all know that. So I think pro-life people are going to be motivated, too, if this decision holds, to come out and support pro-life people into office.
Good. All right, let's move on to the primaries. J.D. Vance celebrating. He won the Republican primary in Ohio. This is 3 weeks after received the Trump endorsement. Seems like Trump's influence worked in Ohio. What do you say?
No, of course it did. And, you know, it was like we need to talk to all these media who were saying, oh, the president, will his endorsement? It's the most powerful endorsement in American political history. And you saw that, I think, front and center last night here in our great state, where just a few weeks ago, J.D. was down in the polls. President Trump endorses him, and he surges to a actually fairly comfortable win. Again, I think it's the power of this America First movement, the MAGA movement, the power of President Trump's endorsement. As I've said, I think it's the most powerful endorsement in the history of American politics, and you see it play out time and time again.
President Biden just talked about the ultra-MAGA agenda as well. He said it's the most extreme political viewpoint in American history, something like that.
Yeah, again, it makes no sense. I mean, what we've had under Joe Biden now for almost 16 months is the worst presidency in history. And I've said this so many times, but it's the truth, and the country gets it. I always say there's a reason 67% of our fellow citizens think our country's on the wrong track. It's because it's true, it is. And frankly, I'd like to meet the 33% who think it's on the right track, because there hasn't been anything done right. We went from secure border to chaos. They're doing it intentionally. We went from stable prices to 41-year high inflation. We went from affordable gas to $4 gas everywhere in the country, $6 gas in California. We went from safe streets to record crime in every major urban area in the nation. And we've had all kinds of attacks on our fundamental liberties, and I haven't even got into foreign policy. So what we had under President Trump was so good compared to the ridiculous, chaotic situation we have had, unfortunately, under President Biden. And then when he speaks, it only scares people even more.
Yes, I want to return to that. I think the country's got a problem, not a political problem so much as a problem of leadership here. President Biden appears to have cognitive difficulties. Just a moment ago, we saw him, I think, get completely confused about Robert Bork and the Supreme Court. And we have a vice president in whom there is virtually no confidence in this country, unless I'm very much mistaken. I think the country has a real problem for the next 2.5 years. Last word to you.
Yeah. No, you're right, Stuart, and it's sad. I mean, we all remember that video a few weeks ago where former President Biden was in the White House, and after the ceremony, they're kind of mingling around, and Joe Biden looks like a kid on the playground who has no friends, and you actually, excuse me, you feel sorry for you don't want anyone to go through that, and it's a sad situation for him, But I think more importantly, it's a scary and concerning situation for our country. It's one of the key questions I get all the time when I'm out and about talking with folks is they ask me who's in charge. I mean, who's in charge? And it's you never had to ask that question with President Trump. You knew who the leader was. You knew who the commander in chief was. You knew who was functioning as president. But that's a question, unfortunately, I get all the time from the folks I get the privilege of representing.
Very glad you're on the show today. Two important subjects, and we're glad you addressed them. Jim Jordan, thanks a lot, sir. See you again soon.